Good afternoon and welcome to Nonsense Talk Live. I am Pallav Ghosh with you. It takes a hell lot of time to build something, create something, prepare something, and takes just a few seconds or minutes to finish it off, to end it. And when it comes to a political party or a legacy of political party, it's unforgiving because not just the founder member is associated, but it's huge number of the followers, the political party members are associated with that party, and it's because of their hard work, their zeal, that political party actually succeeds in touching the epitome. Yes, I am talking of Thackeray's Shiv Sena. As you all know, Election Commission of India on Friday gave away not only the symbol, the bow and arrow, to Eknath Shinde faction, but also the name. So hereafter, Eknath Shinde will be using Shiv Sena as his political identity. Of course, Uddhav Thakrey is planning to challenge the verdict in Supreme Court of India, and we really don't know what the apex court will pronounce, but for the time being, it's a disgrace on Uddhav Thakrey. One really wonders why Uddhav Thakrey actually refused his brother Raj Thackeray, who wanted the Shiv Sena in 2006 before creating floating his political party, that is Maharashtra Navnirman Sena, or MNS, or as we call Mansa in Hindi or Marathi language. We really don't know why Uddhav Thakrey was so adamant in keeping the party with him, because he promised that he will protect the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray. Yesterday, of course, when the verdict came, he was in tears. Emotional sentiments, well, it can be understandable, but if we come to the crux of the matter, crux of the story, then it's a shame on Balasaheb Thackeray's son Uddhav Thakrey, who could not maintain, could not protect the legacy of his father. Perhaps the history was written long back, in fact last June, when the exodus of 50 MLAs followed, when Eknath Shinde took them to Assam and then subsequently came back to Maharashtra. Long story, not going into that. You all have heard that, you all have watched that, you all have read that. And that was the beginning. But the reason I referred this incident is because perhaps history was written on that day when Shiv Sena was split into two. One Eknath Shinde faction and the other Uddhav Thakrey faction. It was shame on Uddhav Thakrey on that day when Uddhav Thakrey couldn't protect the legacy of his father's Shiv Sena on that night. However, today when I am talking to you, I recall many incidents actually. I remember Balasaheb Thackeray once during a television interview saying that in fact, he was actually giving an interview, and to one of the popular journalists of television industry, he said that he was a dictator. He prefers to be a dictator. He loves to be a dictator. And because of his being a dictator, the Shiv Sena is united. The day he was no more, he will die, Shiv Sena will fall apart. When the journalist asked that, do you mean that your future generation, of course, he was referring to Raj and Uddhav, because both were coming up during that time. Do you think that they will be unable to carry your legacy? And Balasaheb's reply was flat. As you all know, Balasaheb was blunt. Balasaheb was vocal. Balasaheb said, yes, I know Shiv Sena will split, because nobody in my family have that capability, have that power, have that guts to keep Shiv Sena united. And so it happened. History is in front of you, and we have seen how Shiv Sena actually went on a perishing mode. Final, or as we say, the last straw to break the camel's back was of course on Friday, when the ECI gave away the symbol of bow and arrow, the iconic bow and arrow, to Eknath Shinde faction along with the name. However, as I said, Uddhav Thakrey is planning to challenge the verdict in the Supreme Court of India, and we will come to know what the apex court pronounces. But it's, for the time being, it's of course a disgrace on a son who couldn't protect the legacy of his father, a father of a repute like Bala Sahab Thackeray. You may not like him, you may not adore him, you may not admire him, you may not love him, but you cannot ever ignore the significance of Bala Sahab Thackeray. The man who spoke his heart out, the man who was vocal, the man who always spoke whatever was in his heart. He was not a man of hypocrisy. He was not a man of words. He was always a man who meant his words. He was never into jugglery of words. Yes, he always proved of controversy, but that was because he was man of words who actually meant what he said. And while saying this, I remember his famous quote during the Ram Janambhoomi Babri Masjid demolition incident, when the mosque fell and L.K. Advani, who was actually instrumental in churning the emotions among the car sevaks, ducked. He came down actually. When the mosque fell around evening, he ducked. Bala Sahab Thackeray was the first to say, if you are ashamed, then I am proud to claim that my boys have done it. This was Bala Sahab Thackeray. Bala Sahab Thackeray was very vocal. Bala Sahab Thackeray always spoke his heart out. And Uddhav Thakrey was supposed to be, at least if not full, should have at least inherited a little bit from his father Bala Sahab Thackeray. Unfortunately, he learned nothing, and finally, before ending, of course, this was a big blow for Uddhav Thakrey, the de facto chief minister in the making. Uddhav Thakrey, who was getting a bigger and bigger and bigger, actually a Frankenstein, and all Frankenstein actually collapsed. Because no Frankenstein has succeeded, no Frankenstein can ever succeed. But anyway, that's a different story. So Uddhav Thakrey was becoming a Frankenstein. He was becoming a de facto chief minister. Uddhav Thakrey and men in the Shiv Sena, the new Shiv Senics, were making him the new Supremo. And we all know how his associations are, the dubious associations with Bollywood. We all know how his alleged involvements with the rave parties, we all know how his alleged involvements in the Sushant Singh Rajput murder case, and so on and so forth, not going into details. This is a big setback for Uddhav Thakrey also. Now he will have to think for his new political career, because his father could not protect his political career, because he doesn't even have the power today, he doesn't even have the guts to claim that he belongs to the Shiv Sena his father Bala Sahab Thackeray had instituted. Bala Sahab Thackeray has floated in 1966. Shame on Uddhav Thakrey. I leave you with this, think it over, give your feedbacks. As I always say, your feedbacks give me the kick. Give me the kick to do more, do better. Keep watching Nonsense Talk Live. Keep reading nonsensetalk.news. This is Pallab Ghosh signing off.